Hello everyone, Christina Werner here. Welcome to another video. Today I have the great honor of introducing to you the latest release from Colorado Craft Company. And if any of you are very early season Christmas crafters, this is going to be the release for you. It's all holiday themed. We're basically having Christmas in July, and I think you're really going to love it. So let's get right into it. I'm going to show you every single stamp and die in the release, and then I'm going to show you what I create with just a few of them at the end of this video. All right, so this first one, oh, so cute, this Santa. It is called Believe. This is part of the Big and Bold series, and you can place the kids so that they're receiving the gift from Santa. So this one's upside down just so it fits in the stamp set. Fun handwritten greetings. So cute. Once again, this one's called Believe. All right, this next one is called Santa's Sleigh, and it is a whole scene. Let me zoom in so you guys can see this. Here we go. It's a whole scene for you. You've got Santa, feeding a reindeer, or actually it looks like he's just petting the reindeer. You got different greetings you can put into that, but for those of you who love to color and paint scenes, this is going to be great because you don't have to do any masking or anything. You can just stamp all of the scene all together. It'd probably be really great for mass producing holiday cards as well, because you could just stamp a bunch of these and then you could just go to town coloring all of them, watch a lot of holiday movies or whatever movies. You could just be watching a lot of TV or occupying yourself with an audiobook or a podcast and just color and paint. I think that would be a great way to go about this one. All right, we have one more in their regular line. This is their Savvy Sentiments line, and this one is called Merry Everything. Really large greetings. This is one of the stamps I'm going to be using today to show you a really simple card. For those of you who don't like to color, this is going to be the set for you. I'm envisioning metallic heat embossing with some ink blending, some dramatic ink blending. I think it will be gorgeous. So we'll come back to this in a minute. And then it looks like we have 5 stamp sets from Anita Jerem's line. This first is a little itty bitty one. I believe it's called No Peeking. Yes, there is a separate die that you can buy for it. I've just put it into the packaging so I have them together. But look how cute this is, this little kitty unwrapping the present. So cute. All right, this next one is called Get Together. Let me zoom out a little for you. All right, look how cute this is. All these cute little animals are all excited to be together. And you have the scene built on one stamp right here, but then you have the individual images that you can color or stamp and pop up on top. And then you have this greeting that says, "It's always so much fun when we get together." So cute. There are dies. You can see that it cuts out the individual images. So it'll cut out these 4, but not the scene. So you can stamp the scene and then stamp these separate and die cut them and pop them off the top of the scene. So super cute. All right, this next one, let's see. It is called On the Lookout, and it is so cute. Okay, look at this little dog. I love that the mouse is just like puddled on top of the couch, looking out the window. It is so cute. And this greeting up here says, "Through a frosty winter night in a sleigh with reindeer flight, bringing joy to large and small, Merry Christmas one and all." So cute. On the lookout for you-know-who. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. I think I see him. So cute. This little scene here is adorable. And this little stars hanging, the little ornaments, are a separate stamp, by the way. And the die for this one cuts out, let's see, it looks like it cuts out all of the scene with the curtains and everything, and it cuts out the window panes. So fun. All right, this next one is called Teamwork. And it looks like a cat and a dog and a bunny and a bird all building the snowman. It says, "Happy holidays from our fam to yours. Friends always. Together we make a great team. So cute. And the dies cut the entire scene. I think this is also this greeting right here. Yeah, the happy holidays. Or actually, I think it might be from our fam to yours. And let's see, that's the little one. Might be the cat. Let's take this out. I'm not entirely sure what it's cutting out. Let's check. Okay, so this is definitely the snowman. Okay, what is this one? Oh, it's the Friends Always. Okay, Friends Always right here. And we have the Happy Holidays, it looks like. Okay, so you get the main big scene for the Friends Always and the Happy Holidays with the die. So cute. Sometimes I love the challenge of figuring out what the die is. You know, you're like, wait a minute, how does the die match up? All right, this last one is called Gingerbread House. And on this one, you can actually build a whole gingerbread house. So you have the finished house right here, but then you also have the individual elements, and you can die cut all the individual elements out as well. You have the little mice out in front that can be looking up at the gingerbread house. You've got Sugar and Spice, makes Christmas so nice. Merry Christmas, sweetest Christmas ever. So cute. This is such a fun set. I think this would be really fun even for kids because you could stamp all the individual pieces and they can kind of almost puzzle piece them together and create their own gingerbread house. So, so, so cute. By the way, these are individual stamps right here to make the little candies. They're separate stamps from the actual gingerbread house. So that's, yeah, hopefully you guys can see that. All right, so here are all the stamp sets, and I'm going to get to creating and show you guys a couple of ways to use these stamps. For my first card, I'm going to be using the Get Together stamp set, and I'm going to be doing some very simple Copic coloring. I'm stamping onto some Neenah Classic Crest Solar White cardstock, and this is going to be a mini slimline card, and if you can believe it, I've never made a mini slimline card before, so this is a really fun new dimension for me. A mini slimline card is 3.5 inches wide by 6 inches tall, which is the perfect size for this little scene. Stamping the scene in some intense black ink from Simon Says Stamp, and I'm actually going to stamp it twice so that I get a really dark black impression. This scene here will be colored with Copic markers, and I'm only going to be coloring the sky background and then the ground for underneath the critters. And I'm doing it that way because I'm stamping the animals separately, and I will be coloring them and then die cutting them. So on a separate piece of white cardstock, I stamped all those animals. So here we go. We're going to go right into the coloring.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun. We know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. Sleep, hear the crickets, see the moon. Side by side and through. No limit to what we can do. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright.
using the coordinating die set to cut out these 4 animals, and I used some Easy C tape to hold them in place while I ran it through my die cutting machine. And this gives just a little bit of a white outline to each one of these animal images. They cut it out so detailed. These are really, really cute. So I'm going to put dimensional adhesive on the back of these, and I'll be putting them on top of the scene. But before I do that, I'm going to do a little stamp surgery and cut this very long greeting apart. I wanted it to actually be stacked in 3 lines of text. So to make it easier on myself, I'm cutting the stamp apart. And when you have words that are really close together in a stamp greeting and you want to cut them apart, here's a tip for you. Go ahead and stretch the stamp a little bit, gently, not too hard, but just stretch it enough and it'll give you a little bit more space to use your scissors and cut those apart. So I prepped the background with an anti-static powder tool and then stamped the greetings, each greeting line in Versamark ink. I started with the last line in the greeting so that I could get the spacing just right. And I applied some white heat embossing powder. This is alabaster embossing powder from Brutus Monroe. I then proceeded to stamp the second and first lines. I then put some adhesive on the back of the panel and I put it onto a prepared card front. And like I said before, this is a mini slimline card, so it is 3.5 inches wide by 6 inches tall. The only thing left to do to help build the scene is to put some dimensional adhesive on the back of all of the animals and then place them directly on top. And that's why I colored over the background, like over the little hedgehog and the bunny, because I was going to be putting the colored images right on top. Just to make this a little bit more fun and whimsical, I added some snowflakes using a white Jelly Roll pen. And now we're going to go right into the second card. Now, this is a card for those of you who don't enjoy coloring. This is a great technique. I'm taking 1-inch strips of cardstock and I'm adhering them to a piece of scratch paper. This scratch paper is cut to 5 inches tall by 3 3/4 wide. So it's going to have a perfect white border left on my A2 card. I then applied each color of cardstock one on top of each other, butting up the edges so that I have a finished stripe background. And I'll have the specific cardstock colors I used listed down below in my video description or at my blog in the supplies section. And then used a craft knife and a ruler just to trim off the excess of those paper strips. So now I'm going to put this into my MISTI tool and I'm going to stamp this really large greeting from the Merry Everything stamp set. I'm getting that placed just right, prepping the area with an anti-static powder tool, and then I'm going to stamp this large greeting in Versamark ink. And I almost stamped it twice just to make sure I had a good impression, but one stamp was enough. So this time, instead of using white embossing powder, I'm going to use gold embossing powder. This is gilded embossing powder from Brutus Monroe, and it is the most beautiful gold. It's my favorite gold embossing powder. My second favorite has to be rose gold. I think it's really pretty. So after I had the greeting heat set and smooth and melted, I then took my Versamark pad and kind of dabbed it along the edges of my piece here, and then dipped it into that embossing powder. This is going to give a gold edge to my panel. And for any areas that got a little thick, I can use a dry brush to brush away that embossing powder. I then used my heat tool to heat set this until it was smooth and melted. So this card is almost completely finished. The last thing to do is just adhere it to a card base. So I've prepared a white card base out of some Neenah Classic Crest Solar White cardstock, and then I adhered my panel using some foam adhesive. So there is card number 2, very simple and very clean. And for those of you who don't like coloring, that is the design for you. So now I'm going to go into my final card for today, and I'm using the On the Lookout stamp set. I love this image of this little dog. It reminds me of my friend Kathy Rakusen's dog and her, I guess it would be her grand dog, her dog Max looked just like this. I could imagine him as a puppy. And then her son has a dog named Goose and who looks the same. And I think it was just so cute. I wanted to color this dog like their dogs. So I'm using my Magello Mission Gold paints today. And I'm also painting on some Fabriano Artistico Extra White watercolor paper. I stamped the image in Warm Glow ink from Gina K, and we're just gonna head right into all of the no line watercoloring. To finish off this card design, I stamped one of the greetings onto some white cardstock using VersaFine Onyx Black ink, trimmed it down, and put some foam adhesive on the back. And I just put that at the very bottom of the scene, kept it really, really simple. So those are the cards for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. You can get this entire release over at SimonsSaysStamp.com or at the Colorado Craft Company shop. I'll have everything linked down below. Go ahead and do some shopping. And there's also free shipping on the 15th and 16th of the month if you want to save for that. So you can get the free shipping over at the Colorado Craft Company website. Thanks so much for watching today. I will catch you guys in another video very soon.